Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTix.com. Got a box full of rugged. You got it. Have you noticed a trend starting? Like way back when Carbonox came out with their Titans and the whole line. Everybody's pushing through a really amazing hardened thin smartwatch, and ROGBID is no different. Here's the model S2. Here's the basic specs on this particular watch, and inside the box we will reveal it to you. First there's the user's manual, and then there's the watch. Now, where do you get the ROGBID tank? And it's called the S2 as well. You can pick it directly up from ROGBID. They got a decent price of about $90 for this thing, considering how hardened and rugged it is. You can also jump over to Amazon if you want to. Got a link to Amazon. Looks like it's more pricey, but there's some deep discounts available too. I'll have very special links for those that are exclusive to us. So use the link to jump to Amazon and put a discount in your cart, and then you'll be able to jump over and take a look at this puppy. Yeah, it's a really interesting watch. Spec-wise, it's a 5 ATM, actually IP69 waterproof smartwatch. It's got Bluetooth calling, of course, a tactical watch with heart rate, blood pressure, a 1.83-inch nice large display, and 100-plus sport mode. You're looking at a 60-day battery life and more. It talks in detail about it. You'll see this in the Amazon listing. I've blown it up for you right here. It's the S2, and of course you can make and receive Bluetooth calls. It's got military standard verification using Gorilla Glass 3 and a zinc alloy case. Extremely resistant to damage. You got a 50-meter equivalent water pressure, and you can do a lot with this one. Make your everyday life easier. Tells you got 3 different brightness levels for indoors and outdoors. 24-hour health management with blood pressure, blood oxygen, fitness capabilities. Keep track of your activities. 100-plus sports activities in here. Climbing, baseball, basketball, you name it. And a nice, decent battery for 20 days use, brimming with energy, it says. Ultra-long 60-day standby time. When we pull it out, you find it's already all put together with the band installed in a small little box. Makes it easy to transport. Double clips on this particular band and a really well-engineered, easily removable band. We've got a little plastic cover over the watch itself, and there it is. What's new and unique is in other ruggedized watches we've seen like this, you have 2 buttons. Here we have a button and a knob, so that's something different in this style. Inside the box, we sport the charging wire, which is a 2-pin magnetic coupled connector that just slaps on there, and hey, it's strong enough to hold the watch, but barely. So you want to make sure you have a good connection when you charge it up. Last thing before we begin, the extensive user manual. Look at this. It's all in English. I'm just going to freeze frame it for you. You've got all the different interactions that this thing can do. It's using the DaFit app. If you watched our last watch review, you found that DaFit is a decent app compared to some of the others that have a lot of limitations. Most of these rugged watches use DaFit. Here's the app operation. It gives you a quick breakdown about that. Function list. These are the different things you'll see, including stress and blood oxygen, sleep time, heart rate, exercise records. It's got the AI voice. That's your Siri or your Google wake-up option that you can interrogate and hear the results coming back on the watch itself. Overall settings. Here's an introduction to Bluetooth calling and the water resistance and some attentions and facts that they listen to their customers, they say. That's just page 1. Here we go in another language. Yep, okay. Let's play with this one. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. Press on the round button on the top, and boom, it vibrated, and there we are into the first watch face. And it has a lot of really nice, colorful, and detailed watch faces. Very, very well done. It's a heavy watch. It's a big watch. Look at this puppy. Yeah. Now, one thing I'm a little disappointed in, I saw there's a knob. I thought it would twirl and do things. Well, it does twirl, but it doesn't change watch faces. It's basically like a button. So it's literally like the watches that look a lot like this one that have two buttons there, except the top one's been replaced. Okay. Pull down, you got, of course, do not disturb. You got your overall brightness. We're at about half. Look how dim it can go at its lowest. Amazing, really good at night. And full bright, excellent. Works well outside. So you got a really nice range of brightness on this watch. You've got a power savings mode that'll take you to dim and turn off notifications and Bluetooth and stuff like that if you want at night. You also have a place where you can add e-cards from the app to the watch. It's the DeFit app, and it supports all of that stuff now. Here is where you can tie in Bluetooth headphones so that you can connect to do Bluetooth calling and play your audio. And here we jump into our overall settings. Where'd it go? Hello. Let's try that again. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Display, brightness, we looked at. Sleep time. You got as little as 5 all the way up to 30. Let's make it 30 so we won't run out. You've got the different watch faces. We showed you one. Here's a really nice colorful one here. It's an interesting purple. It kind of looks like that, but it's a little lighter purple when the camera hits it. We were in settings. We were in display. We were looking at watch faces. I'll show you some more later. Menu styles, you have the list view, which I use to make sure we cover everything. But you can have 3 in a row dots, and they call it parallel. You can have surface, which is interesting. You can have a crescent. A full moon. Wow. A helm, okay, with the center one, and I guess you twirl it around. And then, of course, the honeycomb, the old original Apple style. So we'll stick with list, and we'll be doing all of that stuff here shortly. But first, we'll finish through here. That was in our display menu, and then you can turn on or off the raise your wrist to see the time. Of course, in the app, you can set it up to do that automatically at certain times of the day, so it's not annoying at night when it's lighting up in the dark if you're going to bed or something. Okay, vibrate and ring. There's your mode that you can choose, mute, just vibrate, or vibrate and ring. And of course, you can have your intensity, soft or strong, for the vibration. And this is like longer. It's not really stronger. It's just a little bit longer from what I'm feeling in here. Audio Bluetooth toggle on off, same as what we saw when we pulled down. Do not disturb mode is available, low power mode, all those icons you saw. And here's where you turn the phone on or off to use for Bluetooth calling. You can turn it off. It won't ring on the phone, on the watch, and you'll just use your phone. But if you activate that, then it'll ring over here and you can answer it. Great capabilities with that. You can reset the phone, go into your overall system, restart, reset, power off, and about tells you the version, and this is the S2 with all of the information, power level, and whether you're tethered. And then, of course, the app for DeFit, which we'll show you here shortly, is right there. Recommend you download it from the Google Play Store directly, though, just to make sure it's going through the safety check. That's everything on that page. Come up, you've got messages sent from your phone. Off to this direction, you've got your activity now. Here, it shows you your step count, calories burned, and exercise minutes. Here it breaks it down, your total steps and by hour when you did those steps. And it has your last 30-day records, of which I don't have a lot because I'm just doing this review right after I got it, as they're excited to get it out right away. Here's your heart rate information. You land on here. It's going to use the green diodes in the back. Whoops, it jumped ahead of me. I can tap it. It'll begin. Of course, I got to cover it in order for it to get the sensors. See, it says it doesn't have them. But you know how that works. We don't need to go through all of that. But I do want to show you it's doing continuous heart rate, and it's showing you that on a chart. And it's a range from low to high during that window of time, which is great. You're not just getting a random number in a line chart. You're seeing how varied your heart rate has been over the cycle, how much you've exercised in that period. And I believe you can set the period in the app probably every 10 minutes or so. Here's blood pressure, typical example, and it shows you your last 7, and it shows you your high systolic and diastolic against the chart. So easy to read. You can use this really well without a tethering app if you want to. Blood oxygen readings are right here. I held my breath, got it down to 91. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Stress level. This is different now. It's giving you a stress number, I believe from 0 to 100, and it shows you your regular stress. It leaps because I think it's updating it. And your range and where you are. I'm in the normal range almost all the time and relaxed before. But if you're like really stressed out, high energy job or something, you might start seeing some of that stuff peaking. And you'll know when it's happening, so you can start developing a wellness program to assist yourself to relax. Overall sleep time from last night, here's the full breakout in the app. You can touch those and see when those things happen. And it's color-coded, awake, light, restful, and REM sleep on this watch, which is nice. Then you've got weather in the city you choose in centigrade or Fahrenheit. You also have forecast. This is a watch with a lot of extensive data in it. It's very impressive. Music player that will remotely play whatever you have queued up on your phone. Here's an example of what it sounds like with music playing through the watch from the phone to give you a sense of the speaker on this one. It's clean, really clean. Speakers right here. You can mute it by touching it. Of course, with it on, you can't really reach the speaker, so you can't mute it manually that way as if it were on the side. But definitely good and loud. And then here's a relaxation breathing exercise. If you're stressed, you can set it for whatever minutes you want, and it'll go faster than if you're going to do the breathing before falling asleep. That just changes the rate of inhale, exhale. Now, all of those can be mixed up and changed, and there's some other things you can add to it. You got all this stuff. If you're going to be making calls and stuff, you can turn on the Bluetooth connection for calling, and you'll get all your information here. You can add other things on here too. There's the remote shutter. Here's alarms. Here's countdown timers, stopwatch. Even the calculator can be added here to your list of all of your items that you have available just by sliding around. And you can come right back to the watch face itself. So vast capability to structure this watch just the way you want it. Now, this way didn't take us back to the calculator. It took us over here where you've got some of your more frequent items, and then you can land into all of your activities displayed the way you've chosen when we had that option of setting them. You got your activity. You can do phone calls right here. You go in there, and again, you got to turn it on. We're not doing all of that today. Moving through it quickly. Heart rate, stress, sleep. You've seen all of this stuff. Blood pressure, blood oxygen. These are your exercises that you can set, walking, running, cycling. No GPS directly in this, but with the app, you can tie in GPS for tracking as long as you take your phone with you. A bunch of other things in here. Look at this. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Exercise records, if you have any, will show up here on the watch and, of course, in the app. The weather, the messages, the remote shutter, the music player, relaxation, we saw all of that. Here's AI voice. When you're tethered for doing this, you can activate your Siri or your Google right here, and you can hear the response come out of the speaker. Won't be long, you'll probably be doing your chat AI as well and having a dialogue with the artificial intelligence in the cloud right from your watch. By the end of this year, you watch. Cycle tracking, this is for the ladies. It tells you where you are in your overall cycle. Very well done, and you can see much more detail in the app. You got an onboard, an onboard flashlight. Where'd it go? We're way down here. Okay. Flashlight, and that's nice and bright. It comes into full brightness. Find your phone. You got a couple of games in here, I think. We got Floppy anyway. Hamsters in this one. Battleship. 2048. And you're back again. So you got 4 different games you can play while you're just hanging out. Very cool. Are we done yet? I don't think so. Here we were, and we were down at Games Calculator. You saw that briefly. You got a nice, vivid calculator. Lots of digits on here. And yeah, easy to read, easy to work with. And then your overall settings, which we've gone through already. Cool, huh? Okay, let's look at the app now. Just like most of these ruggedized smartwatches, DaFit is the app of choice, and it's right here in the Google Play Store. Once you got it set up, installed, you can open it. You can pair it to your watch, very easy to do, and you'll land on this opening page. Now, here's today's step information. Come in here, you see it again, and you see some more summary activity, along with activity for all of this past week and where we are in terms of comparison with other people if you're into working out. You'll see this up here in the corner. This is where you can go back and check a different day. Here's yesterday, for example. That's nice because otherwise you just have today only and that's all you got. And we just reviewed a watch that's what limitation was there. You couldn't look at previous days. This one lets you do that. If you've used a different watch in the past, which I have with this app, and I'm registered, so it's tracking all of that. Here's the data from something we reviewed earlier. If you check the listing around this time frame, you can see which watch that was. Okay, we've got not only step count, but you've got sleep time on here. Bring it in here, you get the breakdown of all the different colors, much more vivid than on the watch. When and where you were in that. Oh, I guess it doesn't. I thought you'd touch it and it would show you where in the cycle, but I guess that doesn't do that on this one. But you do have the total breakdown of rapid eye movement, light sleep, and deep sleep, and an overall score that they're generating for you for sleep quality. It's showing you your average heart rate throughout the night. Really interesting, isn't this? And you know what? Last night I had one of those heart issue things come with atrial flutter, I think it was, where it's beating like almost twice as fast as it should, and it accurately recorded it. Very, very interesting. Here's when I took the watch off and then I put it back on, but it was running pretty high for a while. Unfortunately here I can't touch it to see, but I do have the data right there. Last 7 days trend. Here's more sleep information. Just classic DaFit. DaFit's a great app for a lot of detail. Now, here's individual heart rate and here's continuous heart rate. Come into here, I can measure, take an instantaneous measurement. It lights it up on the watch and it'll do a heart rate for you. And you can see your last 7 trends. Here was one last night. Look at that, at 11:49 p.m. It was way up there. But earlier it was much lower. So you got data that you can collect on this, and continuous heart rate is shown here. Here's from midnight forward this morning, and then of course you can switch back and see yesterday, and right about here is when I was going off. I like this for the fact that I can show that this is really accurately doing heart rate computations. It's getting accurate data. I don't like it because Uncle Tix is having to deal with this, but I guess we all win in the end if it validates that the watches are giving you accurate results, or at least close to it. Blood pressure now. Blood pressure and blood oxygen work a little bit differently. Here's the last reading and the last 7 trends. There's not a continuous chart on this one. I don't believe, is there? No, you're just getting a summary for the day on each of these for blood pressure and blood oxygen. Same thing here, got the last 7 days hit measure, and of course it's going to take off on the watch and start doing it, and it's using the red diode on this watch for blood oxygen, which is more accurate. But again, you pick a day and it doesn't give you anything more than just a 7-day trend on that. Stress, we looked at that. This is odd and interesting. I'm not getting a whole lot of data on this. I get the last 3 readings, but that's about it. It's kind of not showing much. So this is a fairly new add-on, but you do have the stress recorded on your watch, and you do have the last 7 days reading on here. This is your activities. You can start with GPS. I show this often. This is one I did way back in May using a different watch with this particular app. And you can see you've got the track there. That's my house right there, and I was just walking around the house. In Google Maps, it shows you all of that stuff. But you have to take the phone with you with the watch. You don't need GPS in the watch. And this one did not have it, but you do have GPS in your phone, so you can use it that way. And that's all of that. And then you have more training detail that you can access from the past as well. Over here, you have the version of the watch that you're using. This is the S2. You have all the different watch faces that you can pick. I think we just showed you that one, so let me show you this one over here. Oh, it's still doing its blood oxygen. There you go. Well, the hands are kind of in the way, but it's a digital analog combination watch. Very interesting. Okay, steps down here, heart rate and so forth are on there. You saw that colorful one. There's a few more in here. This one has got some gears moving on it. That's nice. And then this is one I downloaded from the Face Gallery, and I just like that one. It's a plain, simple, just the time, ma'am. And twist your wrist should be working. Oh well. There you go. It's shy today. It usually is a little bit better than that. Notifications, alarm, shutter. We've looked at all of this stuff with the DeFit app before. Others shows you your information that you can set up here. Continuous heart rate set for every 5 minutes. There's stress monitoring. All of these eat away at your battery somewhat. That's why you have the options to turn them off if you don't need them. Quick view, that's the twist your wrist to see the time. I got it set up for daytime hours. Heart rate warning, you can set your upper limit. And again, weather, you can determine your location. And ladies, your physiological stuff is right in here as well. And then finally, you set you up with your profile and your goals, and you can tie it to Google Fit if you want to. And that is the DeFit app. It's a pretty neat app. So what do you think? All in all, it's a really nice watch. It's got that titanium look to it. It's definitely ruggedized on the thicker side, a little on the heavy side, but if you're wanting something that's nice and solid and ruggedized, that's a plus, not a minus. You've replaced this extra pillbox button with a knob, but the knob is not functional. It just works as a button to turn it on and off for you. But it's functional. You've got removable bands, and definitely does all of the biometrics, and it does it really well. Tethered to the app, you can transfer everything over and take a look at it. Again, it's the ROGBID, and they're calling this one their Tank Rugged Smartwatch, available from their store directly, or you can pick it up as the S2. This is from Amazon. Got a couple of different Amazon links down there before you. International links as well. You got a discount of 23 off of that price already, and I may have some additional. In fact, I do. I'm sure on this one. I've got two different versions, a black and a green one, with some deep discounts through Amazon. But you got to click in the link. You got to click in the link below because it's custom for us. So put that in your shopping cart and. Well, actually, you click it, you apply it, it goes into your Amazon account, and then it'll automatically take off the price at checkout. All in all, yeah, this is a really nice ruggedized watch. I think it's unique. It's very large, and you probably get a lot of looks with this one. Alrighty, gang, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.